We continue learning Kitzur Yomi. We're wrapping up Simin Yud Tes as we begin with Sif Ches. Teaches the Kitzur mistapik loy if one is unsure. So what happens? After 30 days, after 30 days, you already daven 90 times, 3 times a day appropriately. Cheskasa ishkamata tisbalel. It's chazaka right now. You daven v'kehergel shaloi karoi, the way that you're accustomed to doing it. Avol b'toich shleishim yom, within 30 days. Yichol nachzor l'isbal. You got to daven again. V'chein telomater. Im isbal yilo lachshek var isbal tishim tilas karoi nacham ol mekmin achazkasei. We assume you did it. Shkamata zol karoi. V'koydem lochein, but prior to that, circle nachzor l'isbal el siftes. The first night I basically made a mistake. So we're switching. We're switching from Mashiv Ruach, Seid Alamatar, to Stam to Uyois. So the first night of a Pesach, you daven a weekday Shon Esrei v'nizkar achshis chabarich aleinu. Shadin hu shadar l'sayim koloisa bracha. You have to finish and go back to the Yom Tishon Esrei. Go check like 179 vav. Eino yoimer, but now you have a double problem because it's Pesach and you're not supposed to be saying Talmumater anymore. Eino yoimer Talmumater. Keep shkam and eino yoimer. V'imchala she'ilav. Let's say you realize hu yoim aschol l'shal matar b'yom Shabbos v'tal zbal shal chol v'eschol barich aleinu. What do? Gamkin in Omer Talmumater, you say the same bracha. Kim shesiver dayan lo yischilu vayach nigra tamid achar tzibur. So you can never do something before the tzibur does it. So if you're a classical case, and this is a tomorrow of the Kitzur is Rosh Chodesh. It's actually be recording a little late on Rosh Chodesh. But what happened? Yaaleh vYavo Rosh Chodesh. So here it is. B'shachris mincha and b'chol hamoed, a big mistake people make. So in Rosh Chodesh, it's only shachris and mincha and chol hamoed. It's all three. So in this kaidem l'shamar yilaratzoin chayzim asler etzei. Even if you already kaidem shesla moedim. Even if you already realized before you began moedim, and once you finish the bracha, like we saw by Mashiv Ruach. If you remember before you said the actual bracha, then I'm Rosham. See, I'll be over there. And then go back to the beginning of that bracha. Chayzel Rosh Hatfila, Rosh Chodesh, Shachach Yaaleh vYavo b'ma'ariv. Beit Rosh Chodesh Shnei Yomim Bein Sheina Yaaleh Yom Echad does not make a difference. Ki Amar Baruch Ata Hashem ve'Hizkiras Hashem. Too late. Shuv Einoi Chayzer. Al Messiah Machzor Shechinasa L'Tzion v'Gomer Tefillah, saying you don't repeat. Why? V'tam Bozeh. Why is Meir different? We're not Mekadosh the month at night, and therefore you do not repeat Ma'ariv on Rosh Chodesh. Siv Yaaleh Shachach Rosh Chodesh B'chol hamoed Yaaleh vYavo b'shachris. Aval b'shloi niska. You don't remember the Achashis Baal. Most of you already davening Musaf. Shekvar Zachar Rosh Chodesh Chol Hamoed. So now it's like, wait, I already said Rosh Chodesh in Musaf and on Chol Hamoed. Kol Makom Zerlachs L'Shval Shachris. Again, daven Shachris again. V'maver Zmano. The time passed, and of course, what do? Yashemenu v'tzilas mincha, you daven two minchas, ayin shari tshuva. Come on, simcha zif dalid. Mikol ma'akom siv yirbein shuzar lachzus b'if daven again. Neporin halacha sarich lahamtin. You never go boom boom back to back. Shon hasreis k'dei l'charva'amais, which again is not so long. It's 2-3 seconds, but those are 2-3 seconds that you could potentially violate a halacha. Siv yirgemol sheach siver shetab b'tzilas halacha. She daven the amud. And when you daven your quiet Shon Esrei, you messed up and you forgot something. You don't have to daven again. Why? So you don't have to wait for you to finish the second time. Elo, what do you do? When you're going to daven the second time, you're seimech on that. So now you got to sneak something in. Don't end like normal. You got to say Elakayin Nitzar. If you have shalosh siyos. Note 53 points out that usually you do not have to say Elakayin Nitzar, and usually you do not have to take your 3 steps back, as we'll see in tomorrow's shir. Over here, because you're using it as your own Shemona Esrei, you have to. However, if you made a mistake in the first 3 brachas, and he remembered before he completed the Shemona Esrei, if it's not going to be a tircha de tzibor, yachzor, then you got to go back. Now, what does it mean? It's not going to be tircha de tzibor. I guess it means people are more forgiving. If you tell being tennis, even tennis, yachad, omer, tfilas, amincha, what do you say? Berech shema kalinu aneinu. Shmegia levachol eisar vitzuka yisayim kiato shemeya. V'yishach v'lem aminu. Let's see if you got aneinu. Lo nizkalach shomer Hashem before you finish the bracha. Berech shemeya tefila. Einoi chayzer v'aymer. It's too late. El rather lach shegam kol tefila leachar lekain nitzar. This is a unique halacha. Koidem shitiyaka raglov. Before you take your 3 steps back, Amr you say Aneinu ad v'chlei sar v'tzuka u'mesayim yilu ratzayin v'imloinis kivinu remember lachashaka raglov einoi oimrim oid klal. And with that we move straight into Siv Chaf Chazaras Hashatz kishabasei hashayach sibar v'tfilas v'lachash. As we just said moments ago, when the Chazan steps back from his, well, first we're talking about his silent Shemona Esrei. I maybe he waits 2 to 3 seconds before he starts Chazaras Hashatz. Remember, Hashem says, Baruch Ata Hashem. Note 6 points out that if there's a Rav, the custom is to wait for the Rav to finish Shemona Esrei. And if not, then he waits the time that his Shemona Esrei. Everyone should be quiet. You should listen to Chazaras Hashatz. And have intent to what the Chazan is saying. We have to realize that when it's Chazaras Hashatz, we're davening again, like the Kohen explains. And we're davening by saying Baruch Hu V'rach Shemai and Amen and being cognizant. What bracha are you saying Amen to? Va'afilu, and here it is, Lel Moed Aser. You're not allowed to even learn. And certainly, you can't talk. If you're able to, it's best to stand. We should just point out, note 10 says, Shulchan Aruch writes, that if you do things during Chazaras Hashatz, it's mamish a veira that's too heavy to carry, and you should have teichacha. Shura says this is why many shuls were destroyed. Ramosha says you cannot talk during Chazaras Hashatz, even when the chazan is silent, or when they're saying piyutim. How careful we have to be. You should stand if you could. If you're davening Shemona Esrei, it's very at least close your eyes, and you'll see. Look at Gedolim, you'll see their mamish following along during Chazaras Hashatz. After Kitzur take off the tefillin, and the Kitzur says this is inappropriate. Why? It's inappropriate because you should be listening to Chazaras Hashatz. Sif Beis, then with this we conclude. But Chazaras Tefillah Shliach Sibur, when he finishes, Kiv Shliach Sibur requires 12 of Me'atzah B'lach Shoni Daven himself. Ve'ena Chazat Tefillah Rak Shel Hashem, he does it for everyone else. Therefore, Shei Davka Tish Hashem V'ayim. I mean, you have 9 people listening. So Te'ena Berachas Levatala. You don't want to brach Levatala. Ulachein. And therefore, you have exactly a minute. Everyone has to listen. Before we finish, we just will point out note 15, very important, that over there in Siman Tezvav we learned that Kaddish can be recited even if up to 4 people are in the middle of davening. 6 finished, and you can say Kaddish. But when it comes to Chazaras Hashatz, you cannot. This is the reason why it's going to be a very big difference. By Shachar and Mincha, of course, l'chatchila to wait for a minion verse by Ma'ariv that you could start once you have 6 people. We'll stop over here. We'll pick it up from Sif Gimel the next year. B'siyata Dishmaya.